What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So when it comes to Social Security benefits, are they too high? I'm going to show you a clip of Dr. Biggs. He's going to be talking about this. He was in the hearing. If you guys didn't watch my video yesterday, watch my video because I'm going to be rolling out some of the different experts from this hearing. And in this hearing, he said just that. He said that Social Security benefits are too high. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so you guys heard me correctly. We have experts that are saying that Social Security benefits are too high. And he's going to explain himself. Now, there is some pushbacks. I'll show you one clip first. We'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'll show you the second clip. So let's go ahead and play this first clip. Here we go.
And our final witness is Dr. Biggs. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairman Whitehouse, Ranking Member Grassley, and members of the committee. Social Security is the largest federal government program, the largest tax that most workers pay, and the largest source of income for most retirees. It also is underfunded by about 25% based on CBO and SSA projections. Any resolution of this funding gap must be perceived to be fair. And yet fairness is in the eye of the beholder. Since 1935, Social Security has framed fairness as a balance of individual equity and social adequacy. Equity means that each American receives a fair rate of return for their contributions. Adequacy tilts the benefit formula in favor of low earners to reduce poverty in old age and disability. Thus, while Social Security is progressive, it is not nearly so progressive as a typical so-called welfare program. This distinction was essential, and most agree it has contributed to Social Security's public support. Recent proposals would alter this ethos of equity and adequacy by filling Social Security's funding gap with significant tax increases imposed on high-income Americans. For instance, the newly introduced Medicare and Social Security Fairness Act would phase out the $160,000 payroll tax ceiling over about 25 years and immediately levy a 12.4% tax on investment income for taxpayers with incomes exceeding $400,000. The Act would raise 10-year taxes by about $3 trillion, making it likely the largest peacetime tax increase in U.S. history. President Bill Clinton said this approach would, quote, tremendously change the whole Social Security system. It tells high earners, quote, we're going to soak you and you're never going to get anything out of this compared to what you're putting in. Every developed country has a Social Security-like pension system. I am aware of no country that runs a retirement plan similarly to how these proposals would. In Canada, for instance, the payroll tax extends only up to around $49,000 in earnings, while in the United Kingdom, the principal payroll tax is levied up to around $65,000, with only a 2% tax on earnings above that level. France, Sweden, and Switzerland have payroll tax ceilings roughly half those of the U.S. Finally, I would simply ask whether all these tax increases are necessary. Social Security benefits already are at record levels. An average new retiree in 2021 received monthly benefits that are 36% higher than a similar retiree in 2000, even after adjusting for inflation. A couple made up of two medium earners claiming benefits of the normal retirement age in 2023 will receive combined benefits of over $56,000, almost 3 times the federal poverty threshold before touching even a penny of their own savings. And Federal Reserve data show that retirement savings are at record levels in every age, income, educational, and racial or ethnic group. Total retirement plan assets today are 6 times higher than during the 1970s. Retirement incomes are at record highs, while poverty in old age has been declining for over 3 decades. Retirees have gone from being a disproportionately poor group to a disproportionately rich one. But there are approaches to Social Security reform that could help both sides. For instance, both Australia and New Zealand fund their government pension benefits using general tax revenues, not payroll taxes, making for a much more progressive source of income for the program. But these progressive taxes fund a much more targeted level of benefits that aims to guarantee against poverty, not provide generous benefits to middle and upper income retirees who are saving for retirement on their own at record levels. The current Social Security benefit, which for a single new retiree this year has a maximum value of over $43,000 is between 3 and 4 times higher than the maximum benefits paid in countries such as Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and Canada. No proposal that reflects the extreme end of one side of the political and economic spectrum will be enacted. Instead, both parties in Congress, Republicans and Democrats, should focus on working together to forge a compromise. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Dr. Biggs from the American Enterprise Institute. And so you heard what he said. You heard exactly what he was talking about when it comes to he thinks that people receiving Social Security benefits at the top end, they are receiving too much money. Now, we have heard politicians come out and say that we need to close the gap in the sense that we need to means test Social Security. And so essentially what they're saying is people receiving Social Security at the high end, maybe we should cut their benefits and then add those benefits to people who are on the lower end. So kind of even things out is a strategy. And so he was talking about this, and Sheldon Whitehouse, Senator Whitehouse, got pretty upset just listening to him, and he responded, and this is the way he responded. Here we go.
Thank you very much. Mr. Biggs, is the point of your comparison with OECD countries that U.S. Social Security benefits are too high?
The comparison is that they are, in fact, higher.
Do you believe they are too high?
I believe the maximum benefit in the United States is too high, yes. $43,000 per year is far more than is needed to protect against poverty and old age.
Too high answers my question. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Senator Whitehouse, and he did look a little bit upset with that response. But when we're looking at everything, you have to understand you're going to have expertise coming from different sides, different angles, and they're all going to be talking about different strategies on how to fix Social Security reform. And so when it comes to Dr. Biggs is talking more about, you know what, we need to make it fair. And when we're looking at Social Security, the vast majority of people who are receiving Social Security are above that poverty line. So I don't really think we should be looking at it that way and saying, well, the majority of people are above the poverty line, so we don't really need to address some of these things. I think you actually need to address things. And if you do want to means test it, that's okay, but you need to make sure those people who fall below the poverty line are now up above the poverty line. So that's why I think the focus should be. And so if that means a raise for those people that are receiving Social Security, by all means, that's what we should be focused on. But when you're talking about the fact that people receiving Social Security are receiving too much, you have to look at all the different factors. If you want to compare us to other countries, then we have to look at everything. We need to look at the cost of living. We need to look at everything in these different countries and then make that comparison. Because when we're looking at Canada, we're looking at Australia, and we're looking at some of these other places, we have to compare how much does it cost to buy a house there, how much does it cost to buy a car, and things like that. And although in some of these countries items might be the same price or even more, you have to look at everything. So in Canada, they have universal health care. We don't have that in the U.S. And so if you're receiving Medicare, you're still paying into that program. And so, I mean, there are a lot of different factors that you have to look at. You can't just say, well, Canada does it this way, so we should be doing it the same way. Canada is a much smaller country, so those are other things that we have to look at as well. And so I just thought that Dr. Biggs, what he was talking about, I mean, it's pretty extreme if you really think about it. He's saying $43,000 is too much when it comes to benefits. Now, I will have to say, when it comes to Social Security, we know Social Security is only supposed to supplement about 40%. So if he's looking at it from that angle, okay, $43,000 is supposed to substitute about 40%, then you pull another 60% from your savings, from your retirement plans and all that. But what's happening is a lot of people are not able to save the money and they don't have a retirement plan set up. And so when they retire, they have to live on Social Security solely. They don't have any other option. And so that's what we really need to start looking at and start thinking about. Why aren't people saving money? Where are the roadblocks? Why is this happening? Are they spending too much money on their house? Are they spending too much money in other areas because of inflation and because of all the other things that we're looking at? And now they don't have any money to save for retirement. So we have to address that issue as well. Because if you want to say that Social Security is only supposed to supplement 40%, that's fine. But why are people still under the poverty line once they retire? That should never happen. And if that is happening, we have to look at why that's happening. If people aren't saving up for retirement, That's an issue. And are companies providing a good retirement plan? Are they matching the 401k benefits? Things like that. We need to look at all of this. But just to say that, okay, people receiving $43,000, they're receiving too much, you can compare it to other countries. I think that's something that we shouldn't be doing. We should actually be looking at what's going on in the U.S. and then figure out how do we fix Social Security as a whole. So I want to know what you guys think about this, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.